Listening is one of the greatest gifts you can give. To really listen is one of the most thoughtful gifts you can give to another person. Listening is a practice that speaks volumes. Listening is a statement that says, "You matter," and equally, not listening is a statement that can easily be interpreted as saying, "You don't matter." To fully know the impact that listening or not listening has on others, it's important to understand what listening is and is not. Listening is a mindful act of hearing what is said with interest, compassion, and understanding of the other person's words. Listening is hearing another point of view with an open mind and open heart. This is how relationships are solidified and personal growth is attained. You don't have to agree, but simply be open and listen. Listening is not cutting the person speaking off in mid-sentence to interject your version of the subject matter. This is simply rude and disrespectful, and in turn, be mindful not to dominate the conversation with all of your thoughts and opinions. In general, when a person rants for an unreasonable amount of time within a conversation, it is a statement that says, "Only what I say matters." Over time, this becomes quite annoying and runs a high risk of deep-rooted resentment. A rich, fulfilling conversation will have equal shares of talk time. Be aware and be mindful of your actions. Yes, listening is a gift to the other person, but it's also a gift to yourself. When you truly listen, you not only strengthen your relationships, but you can gain wisdom through another's perspective as well. In the Analects it is stated, "A great mind can see a question from all sides. A small mind is biased and can only see from its own side. A great mind can only be attained through unbiased listening." Of course, this doesn't mean that you must agree with everything you hear. It simply means that there is a wealth of wisdom beyond your small scope of perception, which can be attained through unbiased listening. One very big step into learning how to listen is to realize the contributing factors that are causing hindrances in our listening abilities. Quite often, our insecurities cause us to not listen for fear that something will be said that will prove us wrong. But the reality of this is, when something is said that proves us wrong, if we hear it and contemplate it, it will expand us with insight into ourselves, elevating us with more intelligence and into a more whole and solid state of self. Self-centeredness also plays a significant role in one's inability to listen, showing no interest in hearing what others have to say. The result of this is that relationships are strained and usually fleeting as people become too emotionally drained to stick around. Conditioning from technology devices has caused our ability to listen to decline. The inability to fully listen started to become noticeable way back when we started watching TV. If you think of the quick screen changes, you'll get a glimpse into the birth of A.D.D. Then as this behavior grew, the remote control came into our hands, giving us even more control to switch our attention to something of more personal interest, rendering us less able to focus. And now, knowing how much time people spend on the internet and the nature of internet behavior, it's clear why there is such a collective mental malfunctioning. Consider the effects of what years of repeated scrolling has on our mental state. We go on a website and scroll as our attention is very briefly attached to only keywords or images that we find interesting. With decades of internet scrolling, our attention span is getting smaller and smaller, infiltrating our minds so much that it's carrying over to our human interactions. So what can we do about this deterioration of our crucial mental capacity? The first and biggest step is awareness. Observe yourself in conversation with an objective interest in how attentive you are being. Be mindful of the amount of time you give in listening to others, listening with the goal to truly understand them. Respond to others accordingly with questions or comments directly related to what they said. Do not fall into the one-up pattern of going directly into your version of the topic. Know the risks of your daily behavior and the time you are spending on detrimental activities. Keep an awareness of the time you spend on screens, limiting yourself to a reasonable amount of time. With self-awareness, consideration and self-discipline, know that we can shift into more compassionate and productive states of being, one small but crucial step in making this world a better place. Life is speaking to us through our awareness and through others. Stay humble in your stance with others, as there is a wealth of wisdom to be learned, if not from facts, then from flaws. But either way, listen with interest in understanding, and you will learn more than you might think is even possible.